Moving on, Yemeni rebel spokesman Yahya Sari claimed a ballistic missile strike on Israel's Ben Gurion airport caused panic, with thousands seeking shelter and halting air traffic for nearly an hour. Sari confirmed the use of two missiles, including a hypersonic Palestine 2 missile. Let's listen in to what the Houthi military spokesperson had to say.
نفذت القوة الصاروخية في القوات المسلحة اليمنية عملية عسكرية نوعية استهدفت مطار اللد المسمى إسرائيليا مطار بن غوريون في منطقة يافا المحتلة، وذلك بصاروخين باليستيين، أحدهما فرط صوتي نوع فلسطين 2 والآخر ذو الفقار، وقد حققت العملية هدفها بنجاح.
And the Israeli military reported that it successfully intercepted a missile fired from Yemen towards Israel, prompting sirens to sound across central Israel. Local media claim a second missile launched from Yemen was attempted but failed in response. Israel's Ben Gurion International Airport has temporarily suspended all landings and takeoffs. Earlier this month, a ballistic missile launched by the Iran-backed Houthis hit the perimeter of the same airport, damaging a road and a vehicle and causing air traffic to stop for hours. Yemen's Houthis have continued to fire missiles at Israel in what they say is solidarity with Palestinians in Gaza, although they have agreed to halt attacks on US ships. All right, Peter Baum, foreign editor of the weekly Blitz, is joining us on the broadcast to talk more about this. Peter, appreciate you taking out the time and speaking with us. Well, it's a full-fledged war. Israel is, of course, trying to counter as much as interception as it can. But where do you see this conflict leading, considering the fact that more and more proxies are, being poised to take on Israel?
Good day to you, Vinny. Yes, the Houthis are currently the one military irritant that is causing issues within Israel. So far, Israel has managed to shoot down, intercept all the ballistic missiles that are coming forward from the Houthis in Yemen. One did manage to get through a couple of weeks ago and shut down Ben Gurion Airport for a while, and the Israelis have become used to this. Just before I came on air, I just wanted to make sure that I had my facts straight, and I have some information for your listeners and viewers, which I think may even be an exclusive for those listening in India. The Hamas leader, Mohammed Sinwar, the brother of Yahya Sinwar, is now confirmed dead. So Hamas effectively has no leadership in Gaza. So the Houthis are getting their instructions clearly from Iran. And I'm also being informed, as we speak as it happens, that negotiations are very strongly pointed to the fact that there will be a ceasefire between all parties in the next 48 hours. Now, we've been here before, I know, but Netanyahu has never been under so much pressure internally, domestically, to stop the war. And I think it's that is going to stop the Iranian proxies, the Houthis, from firing more missiles. If I am wrong, or if my sources are wrong in their assumption, then there is only one thing that Netanyahu can do, and that is to continue the bombing and diluting the power of the Houthis, which is an option to him if this ceasefire, as I've been told, is forthcoming in the next 48 hours, with the release of, I think, 9 hostages, doesn't bear fruition. So the Houthis, I think, will stop their intermittent ballistic firings should this 48-hour ceasefire come into fruition. If it doesn't, then I'm sure that the Netanyahu will ignore domestic opinion and continue with his war on Gaza and bomb Yemen.
Peter, how would you in fact categorize the events that are unfolding between the Americans and the Iranians as well? when it comes to their nuclear policy. On one hand, Donald Trump extremely ambitious to put this war to an end. On the other hand, there is information being put out by the Americans that the nuclear treaty is somewhere on the verge of being agreed, but the Iranians have completely denounced any such confirmation. Where do you think this confusion is leading to when it comes to this conflict in Israel? Is it complicating it more?
I think it probably is, but there's some things that I must add in here. The Western media has, let's say, an agenda, if you like, at it being very, very anti-Trump. So the idea that there was any kind of agreement going forward between how the Iranians saw their nuclear weaponization progressing and how the Americans want it to go are two very entirely different things. Now, Donald Trump has surrounded himself with probably the most, I'm not going to say pro-Israel, but I'm going to say anti-Iranian administration of any American president. And I am pretty certain that the hawks within the administration will get their way, and Iran, which is currently being isolated, will have nowhere, will continue with its bullish rhetoric, but the Trump administration will either get Iran to get it where America wants it to be, or Iran's continued isolation will continue. And don't forget one other thing. What we don't seem to hear in the Western press is how much dissatisfaction there is internally in Iran, and some of these explosions that we've heard in the last few weeks undoubtedly have been created by Iranian domestic opposition. So Iran, despite its bluster and rhetoric about how it's going to rebuff Trump's desires for it to dilute its nuclear weaponization, have got their own problems domestically. And I think those domestic issues are not raising their head until such time as they see what the Trump administration is going to do.